Hello and welcome to another review here on this channel, and today I'm doing another classic review. And if you don't think this is a classic, I guess you cannot watch the video, but I'm going to be reviewing Tango and Cash that came out in 1989, obviously starring Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. And yeah, I just watched this today. I literally just got finished watching it, and I think that it is a really fun movie, so I'm going to review it. But before I get into the review, I have to say a spoiler alert. I'm not going to try to spoil everything, but there will definitely be some spoilers in the movie, or for the movie, so consider yourselves warned on all things spoilers. Also, we have a new Facebook page. It's facebook.com/ccinemareviews page, so check the channel out there. We're also on Twitter at @ccinemareviews. So tell me your thoughts on this movie and my review on those two platforms or in the comment section down below. With that being said, let's get into the review. So Tango and Cash. Is it good, and more importantly, did I like it? Yeah, I think it's a really great movie. And if you hear things in the background, that's probably they're doing some work on my house, so please forgive me for that. Just wanted to do this review the day that I watched it because I really enjoy this movie. Is Tango and Cash Citizen Kane? No, but it doesn't have to be. Is it very entertaining? Yes, and that's something that I really like in my movies. I like it when they're absolutely entertaining. I'm fine with, the dramas and everything like that, but this movie is so 80s, and this movie is so B-movie that I just really love it. And you guys, you can argue till you're blue in the face, but there is one king of B-movies, and that is Kurt Russell. He is the greatest B-movie actor ever. I think he's one of the best actors ever, and I like that because this movie has many things in it that makes me love movies. It's awesome. It's got great actors who have great chemistry with each other. You got awesome 80s action with the explosions, the guns, the muscle shirts. You got slow motion every once in a while thrown in there, and it's very funny. You guys, this movie is very funny. I mean, I'll show the picture. It's Kurt Russell in drag, and that's like, oh my goodness, I laughed so hard when I saw that because I didn't expect that. And obviously it had Kurt Russell, so yeah, and it was Kurt Russell at his best, during the 80s when he was doing all the B movies that are amazing. So the story is Tango and Cash are two really awesome cops. Tango is a man who is more high class. He wears the Armani suits and all that great stuff. And then you got Cash, who is the street smart guy, who's the guy that's, he's very personal in everything that he does. And they're two really good cops. Like, that's the thing. It's not that one cop is way better than the other. They're two really good cops, and that's what makes this so cool. And they don't really get along because of their different styles. And they get set up in a bus, they go to prison, they escape, they eventually clear their names, but honestly, all that is just fine storytelling to me. But, as Jack Sparrow, the great Jack Sparrow said, it's not the destination so much as the journey, and this movie has a really fun journey. They do Shawshank. They go to prison, they get beat up. There's an amazing 80s, they're tied up, they get put into water, and then they get electrocuted, and then they're saved at the very end by Cash's one of his old friends. They do Shawshank. If you thought Shawshank had a really awesome story and a really fun or a really good escape, this thing does it way better because it's raining, the same as Shawshank. They don't have to crawl through miles and miles of droppings. There's electrocution again involved because of the rain, and then the wires, and then there's two great muscular white dudes in the rain with muscle shirts, and like this movie just does Shawshank, but a little bit shorter and a little bit better in my opinion. Then also you have great 80s things like the darkness. A lot of it's shot in the night. You have awesome things where you have a great a beautiful lady who's in there who's also a biker, and then she's You have awesome, she's a dancer too, and she may or may not be Tango's girlfriend. It's like set up in the whole movie that she's his girlfriend, that she is Tango's girlfriend. Turns out she's his sister, and Tango's just looking out for his little sister, which is awesome. And then you have some romance between Cash and her, and it's just a really cool thing. If you love the 80s, like I personally really enjoy watching movies from that time, if you want a freeze frame high five, you get a freeze frame high five in this movie. It's perfect. Let's talk a little bit about the characters in this movie. I think Tango, having, Sylvester Stallone play like a straight up, not quite nerd guy, just like the very proper and posh kind of a guy, is really cool, because usually you see this guy and he's down to earth, he's really gritty, he's really, he's not quite at that highbrow. He's more, the everyman kind of. And it's nice to see him play this part, because it's pretty fun. It's fun to see Rocky be, the guy, the man. It's fun to see him play the kind of Apollo Creed character, in that he's well established. He's he's really the main guy on the police force. And then you have Cash, who is the cool guy, and nobody pulls off cool like Kurt Russell. I mean, anybody else, George Clooney, anybody else, Brad Pitt, nobody can pull off the cool guy like Kurt Russell. He's just awesome. And Jack Palance, you guys, Jack Palance, he was in Shane. He was the villain in Shane. He's really good. And that's something that's awesome about the 80s, B movies, is you have your villains and you have like these veteran guys. They commit to their roles. Jack Palance commits, and it's so fun to see him play this villain, this bad guy who's not, he's not the guy who's gonna pull the gun on you like he does in Shane. He's the overarching villain, and he commits, and it's just super awesome to see things like that. Also, Byron James is a great henchman. He's a really great henchman. He's also in Blade Runner, and so yeah, he's like a nice, henchman to try to beat up Tango and Cash, to try to kill them. For Jack Palance's character, I think he's a really nice, he's a really nice henchman in the fact that he maybe doesn't look like the main guy, but he's one of those guys that you have to go through to get to the main guy, and that's pretty cool. Also, Terry Hatcher as Catherine Tango, she does really cool. They have an amazing scene where it's implied that her and Cash are doing stuff that, doing adult stuff, and it's just so funny because of the way Sylvester Stallone acts and plays off of that, the way Terry Hatcher and Kurt Russell play it. It's an amazing thing. And you guys, I'm saying it again, Terry Hatcher is like that scene where Kurt Russell comes out in drag. It's so funny, and just her playing, the dominant part in that relationship is so funny. It's just like, yep, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's what makes this movie so much fun, because you have things that are flipped on its head, and it's really funny. Like all the jokes, you want don't drop the soap jokes in prison. You got don't drop the soap jokes in prison. They're not stupid jokes either. They're funny. You want awesome 80s funny jokes. You get them. You get things in this movie that you wouldn't get in your Citizen Kane. And that's why I think that this movie is like just it was so much fun to watch. And that's something that not a lot of the great movies, yeah, you can appreciate them and you can say, oh, that is really awesome, that's great acting, that's great directing, but can you really say that they were just that fun to watch? Bringing this review to a close, I personally think that this is one of the most enjoyable, if not the most enjoyable movie that I've watched and reviewed for this channel. I understand that it's not a great movie. I understand that, AFI, they're not going to put it in their top 100. I understand that people, Roger Ebert get put this higher than, The Godfather. I understand that, and that's fine with me. I just think that personally, I would rather have a movie like this where it's absolutely amazing to watch because it is so fun. It is so enjoyable. It's so funny because sometimes, those movies like The Godfather, those other movies, they can weigh on you because there's so much just packed into them. There's so much emotion. There's so much sometimes even depression. Like, sometimes I want to finish a movie and just be smiling from ear to ear and being like, wow, that was really fun. I understand that it might not be the best, but I just had an amazing time watching it. I'd rather have that reaction, honestly, than being like, oh, I gotta go see my therapist now because this movie made me realize that life kind of sucks. And so that's why I personally think that this is one of the best movies that I've reviewed. Yes, I understand. If I had to give out an Oscar for best movie, in my opinion, I might not give it to this. I understand that there are better movies. There are probably better movies that came out in 1989. But seriously, this is an absolutely fun movie. I think that everyone should watch this. Honestly, I think everyone has the capacity to have fun. I think that everyone can have fun with this and should have fun with this because, hey, the world doesn't need more movies that get people depressed. It just needs fun movies and just fun. I know I said fun a lot, but hey, like, sometimes you find a word for a movie to describe it and it fits perfectly, and fun fits perfectly with Tango and Cash. But that's my thoughts on it. I want to know what you think about this movie, and honestly, like, Tell me anything you want about Kurt Russell, Sylvester Stallone, Tango and Cash, Jack Palance, who's the villain, who's awesome. Tell me anything you want. Tell me a movie you want to watch that is super fun, super 80s. Tell me any other B movies that you would like me to review because, hey, you can't be all, Oscar on this channel. I don't think that, like, I'm totally cool with you guys telling me to watch, Godfather and Citizen Kane and all things like that. But, I like to get some fun movies. I like to get some of these movies in there where they're absolute classics because they've stood the test of time and they're still awesome to me. So tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below or on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/CCinemaReviews page, or on Twitter @CCinemaReviews. So definitely tell me your thoughts whenever and wherever you want. And don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button if you've enjoyed this review and want to see more like it in the future. And go watch Tango and Cash, you guys. It's a really great movie. Bye-bye.